Hope you guys can hear me okay. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing, man?
Not so well. A little bit under the weather, but all right, all right.
I'm
Had
sorry,
some
man.
hope you got technical issues this morning, but looks like we're up and running now. So, good morning, guys. Welcome. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you're having a good morning so far. If you're not, let's hope that we can make that better as we get going. So, apologies for starting a little bit late today. So we'll just get right into it. No stocks to review. Obviously, we do the top plays and highlights on the dates that we trade on Monday, Tuesday through Fridays. Obviously, today we're not going to do that. So we'll jump right into our gappers list. Then we'll do Nasdaq active, Nasdaq gainers. We'll see how the spies do. We'll go into some news, and then we'll get into some announcements. Actually, Norm, if you want, let's go over some news on the spy. Anything hot going on for this week and today?
Anything, everything, man. It's where do I start since we last did the pre-market show? So Friday was a crazy day. So I think everybody probably knows by now there was some tit for tat with the Chinese and retaliatory tariffs they put on, and then the president came back and in a tweet mentioned he was going to increase existing tariffs from 10% to 15%. He was going to increase some tariffs from 25 to 30% in retaliation for the Chinese putting in tariffs on another 75 billion worth of goods, and that happened Friday. Sent the SPY haywire. I think we dropped in by the end of the day. It was down 620 points, a little bit off the low of the day. The G7 was over the weekend in France, and there were some meetings there, and then some word came out that the Chinese were talking to us and willing to talk to us about trade and possibly wanted something. So when futures opened up last night at 6 p.m. Eastern, they were down fairly decently, and then this other news came out overnight and sent things up. So sitting up a little, 0.8% right now. And we shall see what the kind of craziness is remaining in store. Not much economic data today, just one of the Fed board speaks later today. I don't have a time on that, but anyway, that's what we got.
Yeah, definitely exciting news on Friday.
It's enough.
Yeah, I agree. Especially
if
for a
you
Monday.
Yeah, especially for a Monday. And Brian does his kind of week in review and looking forward to the next week and Sunday night. It's on, he puts it on YouTube and on Sunday evenings. Take a look at it if you get a chance. If you ever have any time, either early Monday morning or late Sunday night, it's kind of a good refresher on everything that's going on and some technical setups in the market overall and what he's looking at for swing trading. So that kind of summed it up as well. So that's we'll see. This week should be interesting. Earnings are kind of settling down. There's very few companies reporting today. All but a couple of them are Chinese companies. So it's been anything but a normal August, and we'll see how it pans out the rest of the month here.
All right, excellent. All right, folks, so let's get right to it. Let's start over with what we have here, our gappers list. So we have RKDA on this list here. Obviously, this is a low flow stock. I think the flow is something like in the thousands, not even a million, right? Actually, no, 4.7 million, so my mistake. So RKDA. Yeah, RKDA 4.7 million here, up 21% this morning. Let's take a look on how that looks on the daily. Let's drag this over. Here we go. All right, so again, just been having a couple crazy days. It has a good pop here, several follow-throughs as it just kept grinding high. Today's up another 21%. But again, guys, this is a very low flow stock, and it moves very, very aggressively. So you got to be very careful, right? So today they got some good volume, not a very clean pre-market activity. If you go back and look on this date when it actually started getting some momentum, this pre-market activity looks very clean. You have a nice flow to it. You can see some good ABCD patterns off the pre-market activity. Not saying that you should be trading those patterns on these type of stocks, but you can see how clean this was on this date. The follow-through days are usually not as clean. As you can see here, we have a gap up of 21%, but again, just pretty flat at the moment. Not a very clean pre-market activity. Next, we have MDCO. So let's remove this one from here. So MDCO is up 10%, 569,000 shares traded so far. Let's see what we have here. Oh, not the greatest pre-market activity. MDCO. 69 million shares float. Norm, what's the news on this one? This one looks very nasty though on the daily as well as the pre-market. Even with this 570,000 shares traded.
They had some positive phase 3 trial results that have come out, which have caused this one to pop.
All right. Yep. Definitely not the greatest pre-market activity, and definitely not the greatest daily chart. It doesn't look pretty clean. So we'll see what we can get out of that today. We have BMY. BMY we traded in the past successfully. This has been very nice to trade. Today,
so I'm gonna knock out a few of these real quick, just as a heads up, and I'll scroll up here because the news here is a whole bunch of stuff, and Amgen might pop up later, AMGN, but Peter summed it up the quickest I can see is Amgen's buying Otezla, which is a drug from BMY, so that BMY can meet regulatory requirements to buy Celgene. So that takes up 2 of the gappers, and we'll see if Amgen happens to pop up at some point too.
Gotcha. All right, so let's put Celgene right here as well. Another one that we have traded in the past also, so you can see here. So they have a nice pop. All right, so we got some news on BMY. Not a great pre-market activity. Does have some volume. Celgene, let's see what also pretty nasty pre-market activity. But again, we do have some volume just based on that news. So definitely not sure what type of transactions these will be, or if they will be in play today or just flat. Norm, do you have any insight on that, or just up in the air right now?
I think Amgen may be in play. It just doesn't have the volume right now. It's down 2.6%. BMY will probably be in play. I don't know the specifics on the Celgene deal, but I mean, a lot of that was kind of known. So, we'll see what happens. It's kind of a crapshoot right now. I anticipate a little bit of slow volume today too. Low volume in this.
Okay, gotcha.
So we'll see.
All right, so next here we have after Celgene, we looked at MDCO. MT is a foreign stock, guys. This one doesn't trade very well. This one's up 3%. Yeah, but look how nasty this daily chart is. So again, nothing too exciting there on MT. So next we have AMD. So AMD is on here as well. Let me remove this one, MT. And let's bring in AMD. So AMD is on here, up 2.9, almost 3%, 1.3 million shares traded. So this one's got some activity going. Decent pre-market activity. We seem better from AMD, but this is doable. Definitely some great volume. A lot of it sitting right on here. Big chunk, 349,000 sitting on this one candle here. But overall, that's still, you still have 1 million shares left being traded on AMD. So you got some good volume coming off of AMD. I like the daily. As nasty as it looks, you do have some support and resistance off this daily chart. Right in here you can see how this area has been the previous day close line basically has been support for a couple of days, even going back a couple of weeks. You can see the resistance line. You can see the support line as well on AMD. So this could be a good one to watch today, guys. Got some volume. I'm sure it's probably going to be also moving with the market because I don't think they have any independent news on their own. So this will be a good one to watch today as well. See what we can get out of there. Let's look at the Nasdaq ETF and Nasdaq gainers, guys. I'm sorry, Nasdaq active, Nasdaq gainers. So we have the QQQs and Nasdaq ETF. Kind of tells you how it's kind of like the SPY, but tells you how the market is doing for the Nasdaq stocks. You have TVIX volatility index, not really tradable unless something is really dropping. You can scalp it. AMD, we have DMPI penny stock, not tradable. More Nasdaq ETFs. MDCO here. Again, this one we have on our list, but doesn't look all that great though. So might not be one that makes the final list. RKDA on this list here looks, again, just is up quite a bit now. It's got some volume, but just a very nasty pre-market activity, guys. And usually for me, again, I don't trade and watch low flow, so I don't know much about them. But after the first 2 days, maybe the third day, you get these nice runs. After that, it gets very crappy, man. People that have the fear of missing out start to jump in here, and they just get dumped on, right? So you got to be very, very careful with these after several days of having some really good moves. You know, after it's just, you basically, you missed out already. Don't try to, force it in this situation. Next, we have Apple. Apple's on here. Also, pretty much what AMD looks like this morning. Got the nice drop from Friday and kind of popping up a bit now. Apple is up 1.6. Celgi, we have already in the possible news of some mergings and some buyouts and some more news on this with BMY. So we'll see what comes out of that. RKDA, we have FBIO also not looking all that great this morning. More of a penny stock, so not really tradable. LIQT, horrible. AVRO is also looking nasty as well. No volume, just one big block trade looks like here. Not even, that was from yesterday, from last trading day, so no volume. And then we have MDCO, we have not looking all that great. RBZ we have traded in the past, but right now doesn't have no volume, no activity. SESN also looking nasty, more of a penny stock. And a KBSF, horrible. And then last one here, FHL. I don't see anything going on here, no volume. So not much, not a lot going on this morning. What do you guys have? What do you guys like so far? Norm, what do you like this morning on your list?
I am going to keep Target and on my list because it was in play at several days toward the end of last week. It's up 1.6 this morning. Doesn't have a ton of volume, but it's a nicey stock, so that's not too surprising. I'm going to watch Apple and NVIDIA because NVIDIA tanked last week on this additional tariff news. So that might be in play if it can find a bottom. I find NVIDIA is a very good place to trade, especially when we get this tariff info. And it's the same kind of thing as AMD. And I'll be watching Apple. It's got a lot of volume this morning compared to what it usually has. But if you put a SPY chart next to Apple, on a 5-minute, it's almost identical right now. So
yeah. Besides this one candle messing it up here, yeah, you're right. It's pretty much identical to what's going on with the SPY and Apple this morning. All right, excellent, guys. So let's see what else you guys have. What do you guys like this morning that we might not have on this list? We have FL. Kurt likes FL. Let's see what's going on with FL. FL had a big day on Friday. Nice, beautiful drop here. A lot of us traded this stock. This was definitely in play on Friday, so that was nice. So it could be a continuation. I like the fact that it hasn't bounced. It's still sitting at 34. And depending on what it does here, it can break this level of support that it has created. Here we have TGT. Target's been strong. It's actually been holding this. Even with this huge drop we had on Friday, still holding this here pretty nice. So yeah, I agree, Kurt. This looks good. This looks very interesting. This could be a great possible. I'm actually going to put Target here. I like the way Target looks on the daily. That's nice. Be able to hold that as everything else is dropping after gapping up. You held that. That's pretty impressive. And then Disney. What do we have? I see a few of you guys like Disney. Not much volume right now, but it does seem to have a big bounce. Again, a lot of the stock's going to have this huge drop on Friday, but not much going on right now. But it could be a good possible if it can bounce from here. It looks like it tried to test it a couple of days ago. Almost got there a few days ago as well. Didn't quite make it. But again, this drop was based just on Friday news, so we'll see what can come out of that. BA, wow, BA is having a nice little comeback here. Found some support towards the bottom, towards 320, 330. And now you can see this nice little bounce here, breaking through this. Look at this line here. The previous day, the low for the last 2 trading days, this would have been Thursday. Look at that 340, how nice that is. So great resistance at one point, broke out of that, went right to the next level. And again, so had a nasty day on Friday, but it just really gave back what it had gained on Friday. So that's good. It's kind of like Target holding that and not going red for the day. So yeah, BA is interesting, guys. I usually don't like trading BA. It trades a little funky for me sometimes, but this looks very, very good today. That's a possible. Doesn't have the volume right now, but could be a good one to watch later on today. What else do we have? Yeah, so yeah, BA. Yeah, guys, I like BA. BA is good. We'll throw it on there as a possible. We do have space today. We don't have a list that's a mile long, so BA could definitely make the cut. FHL, I don't like, guys. This one, again, it has some volume, 127,000 shares traded, but I just don't like the daily chart at all on this one. And again, this pre-market activity is not looking all that great. You do have 127,000 shares traded so far out of these few candles here, but again, just not really clean. Not anything that I like personally. Lyft. Let's see what Lyft's been up to. Let's go over on Lyft here. So Lyft, nasty pre-market activity right now. Man, things just keep dropping. All right, so we're heading towards this low that we had right when it IPO'd, right? Just kind of dropped and found some sort of support here. So we're right at that support. Could be interesting, guys. Yeah, this could be nice. If it can lose that, I doubt it will. That 48 seems to be very strong. So again, I doubt it will lose that, but it can come back and test that or take off. Again, it's in a situation we can go either way. It's a matter of watching it and being able to catch an opportunity. But right now, the volume is not quite there. And I don't know who has shares for sure, but I don't have shares for sure on this one. So not one that's gonna interest me to watch right on my main list. FSLY. FSLY. Let's throw that on here. This one. This looks interesting. It doesn't have the great day pre-market. Volume is very low. What's the float on this? FSLY. Yeah, it's a lower float too, so you want to be careful. 13 million shares only. Looks like it had a great day on Thursday. Somewhat great day on Friday. Again, not sure what it wants to do today. Doesn't really quite have the volume there, guys. So just be very careful. It is a lower flow stock. It looks like it's on a really nice run down here from 1375, maybe 14, all the way up to 28. So that's a huge move in a matter of what, 10 days or so. So again, recent IPO looks like as well opened up around 21. So be very careful with this one because it is a lower flow. But again, I don't see anything too exciting at the moment. Could change, guys. If it hits our scanners, this could be a good one to possibly tune into. But just keep in mind this 13 million share flow here with an ATR, guys. Look at this, of $2.45. Now this stock is trading at $27 now, but it was trading at 15, 17. So that is a huge ATR for this type of stock, and even more so with this type of flow. So please be careful. BYND, and then we'll look at Roku. So BYND here is BYND seems pretty quiet for the most part. BYND, yeah, BYND doesn't yeah, nothing too exciting right now. The volume is not there. It is holding this 145-ish level, so that's nice. Prior resistance and support at one point. You can see the bounce here as well, 2 bounces before this nice run up with the earnings coming up and all that other good stuff. But yeah, it's got a nice support here, so it could be a good one for later on in the mid-morning. But again, it could just chop around. I don't see enough volume here, enough interest right now in the pre-market to make this too exciting. So all right, what else do we have? We'll do a few more. We'll do a few more here. So we have TVIX, guys. So TVIX is a volatility index. That one is basically going to move with whatever the market is doing, right? So if the SPY drops, this will shoot up. If the SPY goes up, this will head down. So that's why this is only down a bit, and you know, because the SPY is probably up. So again, it's not really something I put on my main watch list. Now on Friday, for example, if you saw the Andrews recap on Friday, news came out, the SPY started dropping, had this nice pullback, and he went in long. I mean, that was just perfect. That's the way you want to trade that. So so again, that's the way you want to do that. But you don't really want to waste a chart watching this. Just have a SPY up, because then the SPY can help you with the other charts. If you see something crazy happen with the SPY's dropping, then a scalping strategy could be good on the TVIX here to actually do. All right, let me see what else we have. CRM. All right, we'll do one more CRM. CRM had a nice big gap. Oh, look at this. Gave it all back. Popping up a bit now, 1.8. But not much going on, guys. Not much volume. And this one's trades very funky as well. So I'm not too sure about this one. All right, really last one here on Baba. We have I see you guys are giving me a last. So last one on Baba, and then we'll go into announcements. So Baba at the moment, kind of same situation as most of these Baba, AMD, not BA. probably MU as well. You can see the drop from Friday, and then you have a nice pullback now. Volume is good on BABA though. You got 305,000 shares traded on BABA, which is usually not the case, and it's up 1.4. So this could be a good one to watch as well. All right, guys, let's get into announcements, and then we will come back and do support and resistance levels. Let me just get this up. Give me 1 second, guys.
While you're working on that, I will go through the weekly rundown that you can pull up.
Yep.
As soon as you're able to get to it, Carlos. So we're going to start every Monday. We're going to go through the week, what things are looking like. So today we'll have Brian's swing trade discussion at 2:30, Class 1 onboarding tonight at 8 p.m. Then Tuesday will be Williams' regular trade review time, 3 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday, workshop Wednesday today, and I'm trying to remember the subject, and I can't off the top of my head, but we will update that as we get closer. And then Williams' trade review is he's doing his nightly trade review for people that work in the afternoons and cannot make it. Those are also going to be streamed live on YouTube for the time being, so you can check them out either in the chat room or on YouTube. And then Williams' trade review on Thursday at 3 p.m. and Kurt's fireside chat 3 p.m. Eastern. And then other announcements. You pop over to the next page, Carlos.
Oh, here we go.
Last I'll mention it, but Dr. Brett Steenbarger's interviews on YouTube. It's really an awesome interview. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, please check it out. And William and Andrew actually did another interview of a really big name recently that will be coming released very soon. So keep your eye out for that. We'll announce it when that happens as well. DAS's #1 best trader competition version 2.0 is starting next Tuesday. It'll run the month of September. You can go to onebesttrader.com. Bearable Traders is a sponsor of it, and we also, if you go, I believe it's still $75 for the early bird discount. You can get $15 off if you use the promo code BBT Fall 15. BBT Fall 15, like Bearable Traders Fall 15, to get $15 off of it. So that's a great deal. If you're not already signed up for the DAS simulator, you can get it for a month to try it in that challenge. We've been honored to be nominated as part of the Benzinga FinTech Awards. They in the financial literacy tool category. So we much appreciate your vote. Eamon's posted a link in the alerts, and he'll do so on YouTube as well. If you enjoy our content, it takes about 2 seconds. You can vote 1 time per day per device. So we much appreciate your vote on that. And then meetups. We've got the Bay Area meetup coming September 7th. Check our Facebook or the forums for information on that. And then New York City, September 21st. And Dr. Steenbarger is going to be there. So that'll be awesome. You have to register for the NYC one. There is actually, you get a ticket because we've got to be able to get a head count. So we may have to limit the number of people, so I would register early as possible for that. There's no fee for it, but we just have to do tickets to be sure to have an accurate head count. And then if you're watching us on YouTube and you have not been in our chat room before and you'd like to see us trade live throughout the day, you can use the discount code PREMARKET24 as shown on your screen. No spaces or hyphens or anything. PREMARKET24 for a discount and 1 week that does not auto renew. So that is it.
All right, excellent, guys. All right, let's bring this over here. All right, guys, let's make this list a little smaller. Again, we have a lot on here, but a lot is not looking all that great. Not too bad for a Monday though. So let's start over the top with MDCO. So MDCO here again, the pre-market activity, I'm not too excited about it, guys. It doesn't look as clean, but we do have some good volume on there, 720,000 shares traded. So it's worth taking a look at this one. As Norm mentioned earlier, this one, is this the one in the buyout too, or no? This is different, right? This is a
no, this is positive trial results.
Oh, okay, positive trial results. You got an FAA approval on this, or positive trials. Again, this is gonna bounce this up a bit. So high of the pre-market 48, and the low of the pre-market sitting at 38. So already a nice pop over almost $10 there. We do have a nice level right in here, guys. The last time that we were above this 39 or close to this level was 39 was a couple of weeks ago, around July. Let's go back to see, are we at all-time high? Could be that we might be at all-time high, at least in the pre-market. No, we do have some levels right in here. So let's go in here. Looks like the price action is sitting right at a previous area of resistance, or right slightly up below at 41.35. I'm going to mark that down. And let's go back and get some levels towards the top of this pre-market activity, and also in between these levels. So this one here, clearly a nice level. You can see the huge rejection, gaps up, rejects at 43.83, and then it just dumps. You can see here also some loss in momentum in that area as well. Towards the top, I like this one here, guys. I'm going to mark this one down because you do have an area of support, and then you come back and test it, and then it just dumps. So this 46.57 could be a good one as well. And then we do have, I'm just getting a few more towards the top, not too many. Because again, I really don't like the way this pre-market action is setting up anyways. 51.47 above that 48 could be a good area. As you can see, several days hitting that resistance, and also somewhat of support into a few days later, it just loses it. So that 51.47 is nice. Again, we'll see what we can get out of this, guys. Again, the pre-market activity looks a little bit all over the place. You do have some volume, 727. What is the flow on this as well? The flow on this is 69 million shares flow. ATR is not too bad, $1.29.
It also has a pretty massive short float. It's close to 30%.
It does, so. Yeah. So be careful with that. And again, just looking at the daily, also the daily doesn't look very clean, guys. Look how choppy this is, right? So again, just a lot of things I don't like about this one. I don't like the daily. I don't like the pre-market activity right now. It does have a great pop of 15%. Some good volume, but this good volume is not creating anything too exciting. It looks like it's trying to get a little better here, right? Volume starting to come in, starting to get a little pop here. If it can get a nice flow going, it could be a lot more interesting. BYM, guys, this one, now this is the one that's possible on news with Celgi, and the other one you said Engine, you said? The other one that's
Engine, yeah.
So that one's also involved. Doesn't have the volume, so it's not hitting our scanners yet. But BYM, we have traded in the past. So this could be in play depending how this news develops right at the open and what people think about it. Your high of the pre-market 49.41. So you can see how that 49.41 was resistance before a couple of days ago. I'm sorry, a couple of weeks ago, back in late June. And if we go a little towards the top to get a level above that 49.41. Right in here, yeah, this is a perfect level here. This 51.21, you can see clearly how several days are using that as resistance. You do have one even below that as well. Right on here, you can see you got the resistance here. You got support on several days. Not quite on it, guys, but remember, these levels are an area, right? So you have several days, 1, 2, 3, 4, slightly below this 50.41. So again, these levels are an area. They sometimes are not going to be exactly to the penny. Price action sitting right at this prior resistance. I'm not going to mark that down just yet, but just be aware of that. Let's go towards the bottom. Then towards the bottom, guys, you have a moving average coming in here. This looks like the 200 moving average. Yep, it is. So you have the 200 moving average, very close to the two highs from the last two trading days. So I'm not going to mark that down, but just be aware of that 48.50. You have that level there. Towards the bottom, you got the previous day close. You have the lows from the last from the 2 trading days ago, and then you'll have your previous day close with some moving averages as well here. You definitely want to mark your low of your pre-market at 47.01, and you can see how that 47.01, you have your resistance, support, resistance, and somewhat support here on that indecision candle. CELG, this one, same situation, guys, is popping up a bit, has volume as well, but again, not a great pre-market activity, but they do have some possible positive news. So let's get some levels ready just in case. You have this 98.95, which is an area of resistance all the way up here. The price is sitting right at the high of the pre-market, which also, let's mark that down, 97.68 or so, which also is an area of resistance in this pop over here, right? So once we left this 96, which is the two highs from the last two trading days, Thursday and Friday, you can see that red line, that two dotted red line right on there, that 96. That was prior resistance, right? Once it broke out of that, it went right to the 97.68 that we have. You have a pullback, and then we break out and go to 98.95. So we'll see what we can get out of that, see if that can break out again. It looks very strong right now. Pre-market activity not looking all that great. Hopefully at the open we can get some kind of volume out of that. And then towards the bottom, you have your low of your pre-market 96.84. And if we lose that, you also have your 96 level, which I spoke about, which was the prior two highs from Thursday and Friday. So very clean levels. And I think, yeah, we did mark where the price actually is at. Yeah, so 98.68. You can't see it because the price line is right on there, but that's also a level that we just marked. So let's see what we get. Soji, again, has volume. It seems like not the best pre-market activity, but with this news, anything is possible. So I do like AMD, guys, today. It does have some really sick volume, 1.5 million shares traded so far. So that's a lot for AMD, setting up to have a good open, looks like to me. It could be a choppy open. So again, as we always tell you guys, you know, wait that 15 to 30 minutes sometimes. You can get a nice opening range breakdown or break up if you wait even up to an hour. And then sometimes it becomes a beautiful trend trade. We've seen AMD and MU do that so many times. So today could be a day where you don't want to go for that 5-minute opening range. Maybe you want to go for that 15 if you don't get good clean signals. Low of your pre-market 29.85, and your high sitting at 30. It's kind of chopping around right now, 30.73. And then aside from that, outside of that range, towards the top, you have so many levels already, highs and lows for the last two trading days, Thursday and Friday. So you got all these moving averages up here as well. And again, just a lot of resistance towards the top. So be very careful in taking this long. Make sure your signals are very clear. And towards the bottom, you got your low of your pre-market, obviously. And then you have your low from the last trading day plus the previous day close right on this line. This line has been a huge support, by the way. So be aware of that previous day close. You can see if you draw a line right on there, you can see several days. Yeah, they broke down below it, but they found support and got back up. Here you can see also several days testing that, what's that PCL, 29.54. So be aware of that, several bounces off of that on AMD. Let's look at BA. BA, again, pre-market activity looks great on BA. It's got some good volume right now, 106,000 shares traded, so that could be interesting. It's got a great daily chart. It's found a beautiful bounce and support heading back towards the top and breaking some of these levels. Look at that previous day close line, how has been supporting resistance, so this is nice. Your high of your pre-market is 365.85, so we'll mark that down. And then your low of your pre-market, 358.94, so I'll mark that down as well. And then above that, you have 370, which is your high from Friday right in here. And then above this, we have another level of 376.56. And then all the way up here, 382.61. Again, I don't think it can hit that, but, you know, anything is possible. It's been on a very nice, strong run the last couple of days. And you can see here that 376, how nice that is. It has tested that a few times when it has done this run up. So we'll be on the lookout for that. All right, FSLY. Not sure about this one, guys. I do like the daily chart, but again, I just don't like the pre-market activity, so I'm going to take this one off. I just don't like the way this one is setting up, so I'm going to remove this one here. RKDA is the low flow of the day. Let's get some levels for this. Again, for the low flow team, you have your high of your pre-market sitting at 8.99 exactly. Towards the bottom, you got plenty of levels in here. I'm going to mark this one here, 8.49, and then towards the bottom, you have 7. You have some highs and lows from the last two trading days, and you have some moving averages moving in here as well. Again, with this type of stock, this is a very low flow stock. We're sitting at 4.7 with an average true range of $1.48 for a stock that's trading at $7. That's very high, guys, so be very, very careful. And again, this has done the clean moves with volume. It has done already, right? We notice that sometimes those first 3 days, 2-3 days could be amazing. If you go back and look at BPTH, right, that first day was great, a lot of volume, very strong. Second day, nice continuation, gapping up, very strong. Then from here, look at the volume drop. Once you start seeing this, this could be very, very dangerous, because anybody could just come here and dump their shares on you, and that could really take you for a run for your money. So be very careful with this. I think the fun is already out of it. Anyone trading it now, it's just you're taking a very high risk on these low floats. TGT looks interesting, guys. Actually, I'm going to put TGT Target up here. I like the way Target looks. I like the fact that it didn't sell off after Friday's massive drop on a lot of stocks. You do have your low of here of 98. Your highs and lows of the pre-market, pretty much basically the highs from 2 days ago and the low from 2 days ago right down there. So I don't think you need to mark any more levels. Just mark down this 98.31 in case we lose this previous day close. But overall, this is looking very nice to target on the daily, just because, again, it held here, is bouncing up, it's gapping on 1.3. Doesn't have great volume right now, but it could be a good one to watch if it can get going and get some continuation to test these highs over here. Is this all-time high? I believe too, right? If I'm not mistaken, on Target, I believe we're all-time high. Just going to go back here and double check on the weekly. Yes, we are. So again, really strong right now, guys. It's been strong since it gapped up, so this could be a good one to watch today. All right, guys, that is all we have. Anything else that we might have missed that you guys like? BYND went over. JD, let's see what JD looks like. JD, it's got
not a lot of volume, but I think it's got to be in a block trade, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm not seeing where this, right, exactly. I'm not seeing this 233,000. I'm not seeing where it's coming from. So again, not the best pre-market activity right now. Daily chart looks nice. I see what you're looking at here, Kevin. Yes, it has a nice little bounce to it, but a lot of them are going to have this because of the sell-off yesterday, right? So they're bouncing back a bit now, at least about 2%, 3%, or even 1%. So you can see a lot of these bounces here. I'm assuming that's a lot because we just sold off so massively on Friday. Everybody's just coming back a bit. All right, guys, this is what we have. So MDCO, again, I'm not a fan of this one, but I like the pop on the daily here. So we'll see what we can get out of it. It has some good volume, but not my favorite for today. BMY, it's got some news on it. It's got some good volume, decent pre-market activity, not all that great. But this is definitely worth taking a look at. CELG, also not the cleanest pre-market activity, but it does have some volume with some news with BMY as well. I do love this pop here also, and we do have shares for sure, so that's good. AMD we have here. AMD, again, this will be the one that I'll watch depending on what the market does, but I'm going to wait on this one. I have a feeling this is going to be choppy at the open, so be very careful on that 5-minute opening range if you're looking for a trade early on. Be very careful. BA actually looks pretty clean, guys. Look at this. It doesn't have a great volume, but this pre-market activity looks clean. This daily looks clean. I mean, this is very nice. So it looks like it wants to break out and test that 370, that prior area of resistance. So this is good. Target also looks good. Again, not a lot of volume, but look at this daily. I mean, it just looks like it wants to head up here and test that all-time high again. There could be some more people taking profits here now. I don't know. Anything can happen here, but this is definitely worth watching. Very low volume right now, only 48,000, but this daily is interesting. And then RKDA will be the one for the low flow team. But again, guys, look at this crap. Just be very careful. I'm going to delete it from here. I'm not going to watch it personally, but be careful if you are going to watch that today. Guys, thank you for joining us on YouTube. Have a great day today to start off this week. We will see you again tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern time. Take care.
Thanks, guys. Trade safe.